Hello, hello, hello everybody. Back at it again with another convention prep vlog. So my next convention is the end of September, the 28th and 29th. It's the 23rd of August. I have about like a month and like half of a week to get everything done, which is cool, very cool, very, very, very cool. I figured I'd go over the things that I'm working on right now and my plans. The convention that I am prepping for is a first year convention. It's called InfinityCon. It is a convention that has been happening in Tallahassee for a while, but this is its first year in Gainesville. It's going to be during the school year, so hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. But it didn't cost too much, and the last convention I had in Gainesville ended up being really good for me. It was SwampCon. I don't know if InfinityCon is going to be as good as that, because SwampCon had a lot in its favor. Like, it was a free con, it was on the campus. InfinityCon is pretty close to the campus, and it's not too expensive, and it also is happening during the school year. And I think it's far enough away from SwampCon, because SwampCon happens at like the beginning of the year, so I think people are going to be like hankering for some nerd shit to do, maybe. But I also have Wasabicon happening in October, so a lot of this stuff is also stuff that I want to definitely have done by Wasabicon, because it is probably the biggest convention that happens in the Jacksonville area. Last year I did alright. It was my first year doing it. It was kind of last minute, and I don't really think I knew what I was doing exactly. I definitely like more than broke even, so it was good. And I'm just really hoping that my new inventory will be good for it, because this was before I had a lot of my inventory that sells really well. So we'll see how that turns out. I hope that it's good. So right now I am working on some charms. As you can see, I'm working on some Dungeon Meshy charms. We got Chill Check, we got Fallen. I decided to go with her like messed up dragon form, and I might do a human Fallen later, but I just thought it would be really funny to have like one big charm of like big messed up dragon Fallen. I think that would be fun. And we got Izutsumi. I'm actually very fond of this drawing I did. Look how cute she looks. Look how cute she looks. She's a baby. I got Kabru looking sly as heck. Laios. Marcial, of course, having a bad time. Mithroon. That one, he's gonna be like covered in blood. I think it would be funny. Senshi, of course. I don't really know how to chipify Senshi. I hope that this works. Yeah, he was yeah. And then there's Thistle, and I like how Thistle turned out in this one. I think he looks very cute. So normally when I do groups of merch like this, I try to have like a theme. This one, I didn't really have a theme. I couldn't really think of anything. For the buttons, I had that macaron theme. I had a poll up on Twitter asking which thing I should make charms for next. And it was basically between Dungeon Meshy and One Piece. And Dungeon Meshy won by like 1 vote, so I was like, sure, why not? I do like drawing like some cute chibi characters. I think that these are pretty cute, and I am looking forward to finishing them up. I think it'll be a good idea. I'm probably going to get these through Waswampycon because I had such a good experience with them last time. And this is, of course, not the only thing I'm working on. I'm trying to prioritize the things that I need to order from places like Waswampycon or Staples or other places. The things that I can just do at home, I'm just going to do at home, and I'm going to leave them for the last so that I can just like bang them out on my own. I also am working on a series of small prints. Wait a second, what is this one? I don't know what this is. What? Why did I save this in here? So I have a bunch of the things that I need to get sent off and ordered already sketched. I already have some restocks of my Twisted Wonderland postcard prints. I'm trying to move to borderless versions of them, and I only have like 1 or 2 left of Malleus and Grimm, so those are the first two that I am doing straight up borderless. I got them done by Moo Postcards, which are usually pretty expensive, but they had a deal. And they have a very handy thing where you can get like up to 25 different designs of postcards in your postcard order, which is very handy. Other places, you have to buy like 50 postcards, all of the exact same design. So anything where I can do multiple designs in a certain quantity is really helpful for me. So I hope that those turn out good. I got Zoro, I got Usopp, I got Sanji, I got Nami, I got Luffy, and I got Chopper. And I think that these sketches are alright. I actually haven't drawn any of the One Piece characters before. But I'm pretty satisfied with all of them, except maybe Luffy. Looking at Luffy now, I'm not really sure about this. I will probably tweak him a little bit as I'm working. The others seem good though. It is so crazy to me how if you change even just a little bit about Usopp's design, he suddenly becomes like so much more appealing of a character design. Well, I shouldn't say appealing. I like Usopp's character design, but he is like the most cartoony out of the original Straw Hats, like the first 5 or 6 of them. He is very, very cartoony, and it's hard to make him look good. I think I did a pretty good job with this. I am very happy with him. I'm still trying to reread One Piece. I read the whole thing up to its most current chapter like 6 years ago. So it was like chapter 700 something. So I am now several hundred chapters behind. It's been so long. I'm trying to read through it all over again. And I'm also watching the live action version. I'm up to like the Arlong Park arc in the manga, and the live action version I've only had a time to watch 1 episode, but I'm probably going to watch more later because I got them from a very legal place, so I have access to them all of the time, and I can just pull them up anytime I want in a very legal way. And then I have a couple of buttons that I want to get done soon. Yeah, these two. So I've got the Guilty Gear characters, Bridget and Testament, and they're going to be saying something like, "Gender? I hardly know her." Just because I thought that was funny. I just like that kind of dumb pun. I'm going to try to get slime versions of the Natland characters done. I actually finished all of the other characters just in time for Natland to come out and give me a whole bunch more that I need to work on. So I'm going to do that probably before the thing, but I'm leaving that for last because those are pretty quick to bang out. I guess you can probably tell from how often I've been posting, but I've been having a lot of fun making videos lately, and I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with different types of videos. Mostly shit posts, and those always seem to do the best out of all the things I make. But I don't want to just make shit posts. I want to make videos that I also enjoy watching, like the types of videos that I also like. So like, I like so many different types of videos though. So I've got like vlogs, I've got like art commentary, I've got like drama commentary, I've got like gameplay videos, I've got like documentaries. I kind of want to dabble in everything basically, and I've just been having so much fun making things. So this is another more of an experiment. And I only have these 6 characters right now. I'm probably going to do more of the Straw Hats later, and maybe some other characters, some popular characters. Oh, what I'm also working on is I'm going to make another cyberpunk style Sanrio print. Probably Cinnamoroll because he's just so popular. The Choco Cat one didn't sell very well, but I think that the concept is a good idea, and I think that if I had other Sanrio characters that all of them would sell well, because I've noticed that a lot of people, if they see that there's like a big collection of many different characters in the same theme, they'll be more attracted to it, and they'll buy like their favorite and probably one or two more, especially if there's like a deal going on. And I think it's a unique idea. I don't think I've seen anybody do anything like Cyberpunk Hello Kitty or whatever. But I want to do a lot more of the Sanrio characters, like at least Hello Kitty, at least Kurumi and My Melody, Cinnamoroll, obviously. Maybe like Batsmaru and Pom Pom Purin. I want to come up with good concepts for all of them. I already have the concepts for Hello Kitty, Cinnamoroll, and My Melody and Kurumi kind of worked out in my head. I just need to actually do them. But I can print those from here also, so I'm also leaving those for later. Yeah, so I have a couple of prints in this style. They are mini prints. So I can print these at home. They're very small. They're like, I've been selling them for $5. I only sold a couple of them at SuperCon, but I think that once I have more characters, they will probably sell very well. So I want to try to make some more of those. I'm going to try to make all of the evolutions. They're all long cats, get it? Haha, long cat. I want to try to get Skitty, Sprigatito, what other cat Pokemon are there? Oh, Esper. I want to get Esper done. I feel like a lot of people neglect Esper, even though he's one of the best cat Pokemon. Maybe Meowth. I also have some plans for some larger prints, but I'm kind of holding off on those because I don't really think they're going to sell very well no matter what. Just because the economy is where it is. They're kind of niche ideas. Well, I have some ideas for some Genshin prints that I think would probably do well if I can pull them off right. And then I have like this really dumb idea for this like femdom Mario print, except it's Peach doming Bowser basically, in a very PG-13 sort of way, so I won't get like thrown out of a convention for having it on display. But yeah, I have this one picture of a nun dominating a demon, and that has also been a very popular print for me because people think it's very funny. I feel like if I had more of that, it would just kind of strengthen my brand of women beating the shit out of men. While I get started on these prints, I want to go over like my inspiration for them. Because I always like to have a theme for all of my series of characters, because I find it kind of boring when it's just chibis floating in a void. I know I just showed you the charms that I made that were just chibis floating in a void, but I can't be on it 100% of the time, you know? So the theme for these One Piece prints are flowers, basically, like flower languages. I can't remember any of the meanings of them anymore, but Chopper is azaleas. Azaleas, apparently deer like to eat azaleas, and they're very pretty. I just thought it would suit him. I mostly just chose flowers that I thought would suit the characters. Luffy's sunflowers, obviously. Nami orange blossoms, obviously. Sanji roses, obviously. Usopp, I went with dandelions? Wait, no, that's not what they're called. They're called daffodils. Zoro is a flower called an orange osmanthus, which is like a sort of a tea flower sort of thing. I don't know, it seems like it suits him, you know? So that was my thought process behind all of these. Today I made these buffalo chicken bites for the first time. It was a little weird. They weren't too hard, and they turned out pretty good, I think. Except next time I make them, I'm going to try to drain the tofu a little bit longer. I've never cooked with tofu before, so I didn't realize how wet it is. Like, I couldn't open the little box that it comes in, so eventually I grabbed the kitchen scissors and used those to open it, and all this water came squirting out, and I was like, oh, it's just in water, huh? So I didn't press it long enough. It needed a good, like, probably 5-10 minutes more. It wasn't too bad, though. It was kind of juicy in the end. The seasoning and the breading turned out very good though, so I think that it was an overall success. I feel like his face isn't really... There we go. That is much cuter. Like immediately way cuter. Anyway, my main drama this week is that I've been having more car troubles, which is awesome. I love that. Well, for starters, it wasn't my fault, and it also wasn't even really the car's fault. I used my car to get to my job on a food truck. Over the weekend, there was this big event, like a bee festival or something, and it was in the city of Jacksonville, which is a ways away from me. It's like a 45-minute drive. So I drive there, and then everything goes fine, everything's fine. I go back. Hours later, a little girl comes up to our house and says, "Hey, your brake lights are on." I'm like, oh shit. My dad, who knows about cars, he's like, oh, it's not good if your brake lights are on because your battery is totally going to get completely drained. We need to fix that. So we disconnect the battery so that it won't do that, and then decide to come back the next day because I didn't really have anywhere to be the next day. We figured out that it's there's like a little thing that presses down on a button that stops the brake lights basically from shining. That little button had broken off, and I had seen that there was something broken underneath my brakes, and I was like, oh, that must be it. And after some research, my dad also agreed that that was probably it. So he bought a replacement part. But when he gets the replacement part, it's not the right size. But instead of, I don't know, getting a different replacement part that was a different size and seeing if that worked instead, my dad just like used a knife to shave off part of it and get it small enough that it would fit in there. And I should have said something. I should have been like, hey, I don't know if this is such a good idea, but I just wanted to get this over with because I'm so done with this car. So we put this replacement part in the car, and it seems like it worked. Like my brake lights are working how they should again. Yay, awesome. The next day, I have to go work on the truck again. And so I get in my car and I start driving, and I notice almost right away that something about it is weird. It's like controlling weird or something. And I get probably like a mile away from the house before something is like clearly extremely wrong. Like my car isn't picking up. I have to like slam down on the accelerator to get it to move. So I pull up into a neighborhood and I open my door, and there is fire coming out from under my left wheel. There's fire coming out of my car. Fire and smoke. And so I'm freaking out. I call my dad immediately, of course. That's all I ever do when my car is on the fritz. I have to call my dad. And I'm like crying. I'm like, my car is on fire. I need help. And yeah, it was the part. The part was the wrong size, and it made my brakes lock up. But then it turns out that because I drove it while my brakes were locked up, it shredded my brakes. My brakes were just gone. They didn't exist anymore. So I had to get my entire brake system replaced, which was a lot of money. But because it only happened because my dad used the wrong part, he ended up covering it, which is nice, I guess. It still would have been nicer if this hadn't happened in the first place, but things are the way that they are. Anyway, my dad feels pretty bad about that, and I don't want him to, because it was just a mistake. It was a preventable mistake, but all mistakes are. That car is so old, and I really just want to get a new one, a newer one. Like, I don't even want like a brand new like 2004 car. I just want something that's maybe like 5 years old would be super great. I really am hoping that this YouTube thing takes off too, because like I was really surprised. My channel's been monetized since like February or something, but I haven't really posted much things because I didn't really think it mattered all that much. I was just like, why not post some things? But then I checked the other day and it turns out that I've made almost $100 just with videos I've already posted, and I'm like, oh shit, you can earn like real money from this, can't you? And it's not like I'm doing this just to make money. I like making things, and making money is just a nice bonus of that. So I'm hoping to just kind of expand my offerings of entertainment, I suppose. I mostly started this YouTube channel because it was the middle of lockdown. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I wanted to practice like talking more. I'm not very good at it. You can probably tell I stutter a lot. I have a hard time expressing myself, and I kind of wanted to like learn how to do that better. And it's helped a little bit. It's kind of nice getting some perspective about how I talk and how little I talk and what things cause me to trail off, because I do trail off a lot. I get distracted. But I've actually had a very positive experience with YouTube so far. A lot of my videos have gotten like really nice receptions, even the shitposty ones. But I want to try getting into more scripted videos. I've been thinking of starting to do like reviews, maybe like short documentary type things. I want to try doing some webcomic reviews, because a lot of people who do webcomic reviews on this website are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever heard in my entire life. They don't know what a theme is. They don't know anything about what they're talking about. And also, it would just be really nice to have the opportunity to rag on Lore Olympus, because God, I fucking hate that comic. It's so terrible. I don't just want to talk about bad comics though. I also want to talk about good comics that I enjoy. It's just that, like, for a while I've been wanting to do this review sort of video about a comic that I think is really, really good, but it's an adult comic, like a very adult comic. It's not even that I'm really that into the you-know-what, the not safe for work aspect of it. It's just a genuinely very solidly written story that I really enjoy, which is crazy. There's not a lot of not safe for work art that is like that, but this one is good. I'd like to make a video about that. It will not get monetized, I know for a fact. Oh, that dumb little fanfiction reading video that I did, that also has limited ads, so the monetization on that got really hardcore effed over, which sucks, but what can you do? I mean, it's a jokey shitpost video about 9/11. Like, there we go. So I just got a restock of some of these small prints. Just 2 of them, actually. These Twisted Wonderland prints. And I really like how these turned out. They're very nice. What I'm worried about now, though, is that these are too nice in comparison to my other prints of the Twisted Wonderland characters. So eventually I'm going to need to get the other characters. I love how shiny they are. I love how the lines are a little bit embossed. They're very good. Moo is expensive, but like, I feel like it's worth it if they're making postcards this nice. I'm working on, so I've got these done, and I'm also working on stickers again. So here's another glimpse of the big old thing of stickers that I have to do. I'm all done with the Genshin stickers. I'm done with all of those designs except for some of the Natland characters that I want to do. So hopefully I will never have to do this many stickers again. There's so many of them. And a lot of these are restocks too. My One Piece postcards are here, and I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, so I'm gonna open them right now. Oh, these turned out really nice. Nice and shiny, nice thick cardboard. Oh yeah, even this one. I was worried
because it's so dark, but it turned out really good. Yeah, awesome. I didn't really order very many of these. There's only like 4 of each one because I just didn't have the money for that. But I'm glad to have these, even if it's only in like a small quantity. Yeah.
Okay, these are the last of the stickers that I am making. I went ahead and did a few of the Natland characters. The ones that we know so far, anyway. So I haven't done Gillinan, I haven't done Capitano or anyone, but I have like a base of the most recently revealed characters, and these are the last stickers that I'm gonna do until Wasabicon. I'm done after this because I already spent a bunch of time laminating and cutting out all the other stickers. I finished all of that, and now these are the last ones left. So I've got Mabuika, I've got a variant of her where she's got like the fire hair, Kinish, Chaska. This I think I'm probably gonna like adjust later on because I feel like her hair is too red. It needs to be a little more like, a little cooler, I guess, a little more purple red. I got Kachina and Mualani, of course. Yeah, no, that's the last one. So just those 6, yeah. Yep, just banging these out. And there's a few small things that I want to get in time for InfinityCon, which is in about 10 days. So I think I will have more than enough time. Yeah.
I got some new charms in, just in time for Wasabicon. There's like a whole thing going on with that, but I got these in. I was a little worried they wouldn't come in, but I'm just gonna check them out now. And I ordered them from Wuacri, which I've had good experiences with in the past, so.
All right, I got all my charms unwrapped and with the film off. I think they turned out really nice. So these are 2 inches long except for Fallen. She is 3 inches long, and she's gonna be more expensive. I think I'm gonna sell her for $15 and the rest of these for $12. Yeah, and I really like how they turned out. They got the colors really accurate. So I was hoping to get these in time for Wasabicon, and I knew I wouldn't have them for InfinityCon, so I also made stickers of these before InfinityCon. But fun times happened. A Hurricane Helene came, and InfinityCon was canceled and moved to the same weekend as Wasabicon. I had to be like, can I just get a table next year? So yeah, no InfinityCon, unfortunately. I was kind of looking forward to that. I wanted to see how it would turn out because it was like a very new con. Wasabicon I am hoping will be good, but I don't know about that because there's a second hurricane coming, Hurricane Milton. Apparently it should be done by like Thursday, so it shouldn't interfere with the convention too much. I really hope it doesn't because it'd be really nice to be able to make some money. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to actually do something. Because I've been to shows like when storms were happening and stuff, and they always ended up bad. But I'm hoping since it'll be after the hurricane, it'll be good. It is this weekend, so it's only a few days away. I'm a little worried, but here's hoping it turns out good. Yeah. But I have these charms now, and they turned out very nice. I'm very happy with them. I'm gonna try to get one more sticker out. I'm gonna try to get another slime sticker out of Gillinan from the next Genshin update, because I think that she's gonna pop off, honestly. And I got a lot of stuff to do today. I have like multiple appointments. I need to go to Michael's at some point and pick up some stuff that I ordered. So yeah, busy time.
So it's kind of a mess in here, but look at my Gillinan. I got this spinning standee kind of last minute. My next show is this weekend after everything has been canceled by hurricanes, which is a pain in the ass. If I move it around right, I can spin it. Yeah. So my next show is this small local show called Nakamacon, and then at the very end of the month we have Wasabicon. Wasabicon is probably going to be bigger. I'm hoping that Nakamacon will be good. It's been a day. It's been, today is the day after the election, so I think you can imagine how insane I feel right now. But no, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to try to focus on the positive for now. So here's the positive. She spin.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so fucking tired. I'm so exhausted. Oh my gosh. So this video has been a bitch and a half to make. It wasn't supposed to be like this, but then some things called Milton, and I don't remember what the other one was called, came along and just ruined everything. Originally, I wanted this to be an InfinityCon, Gainesville, and Wasabicon video, and InfinityCon, so it did predictably get canceled. And I moved my table over to next year. I hope next year is good. Who knows? Who even knows? Apparently this year wasn't that great. I've had shows where people have been like, oh, that's the shittiest show ever. And I was completely fine, and I made a pretty decent amount of money. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends. And then I had this huge stretch of like 3 months with no conventions, even though I had all of this stuff that I was working on. And it was a huge pain in the ass because I really wanted to just sell at a convention somewhere, doing anything. I got into one show, Nakamacon, which I have done before. So for context, Nakama is Nakama Anime Bar, and it's like a little karaoke bar and a little anime themed cafe that's connected to it. It's cute. I've been there a couple times. The food's pretty good. Very expensive, but hey, it's an indie cafe, I guess. They do a lot of community events, like they have cosplay meetups, and they have like Smash tournaments, and karaoke, of course. They have karaoke nights. They have raves. They have like a DJ who plays there all the time. They're very like community oriented, which is pretty cool. They have a market every month. I did one of the markets once, and I didn't even make back the $30 that I paid to be there. Apparently, I've talked to other people who have done the markets, and they did well, but I don't know, my experience wasn't great. I guess it depends on the month, and if people are like spending money at all that month. It probably does better around the holidays, but I have done Nakamacon before. So last year, they decided to have like a small little hotel convention their very first year. And I was like, you know what? It's like 30 minutes away from my house. The table is cheap. Why not try it out? So I tried it out, and it was pretty decent for a first year con. I didn't make a huge profit. I think I only made like a $100 profit, but I was like, oh yay, this is cool. And this was also when I started to realize that people really, really like stickers, and I was like, I should make more stickers. And I did that, and now my stickers are like my bestseller, so I'm glad that that happened. But yeah, it was a good first year, so I was like, okay, I'll definitely apply for this again next year. They opened up applications like a couple months before it, which is unusual for big conventions, but probably pretty normal for small conventions. They don't have as much to organize. And I applied, I got in, I paid the table fee, which thank God was the same amount that it was last year. Thank God they didn't jack up the price. Oh my God, that would have been so horrible. Anyway, I get there. Man, man alive, it was something. It was something. So last year I was in the little ballroom that they had rented. It was a small space. It was like it was like a small conference room. I wouldn't even call it a ballroom. It was big enough to hold like maybe 20 vendors, and we were all kind of crammed together, and it was fine. It was okay. I think I got a decent spot that time. It was fine. But there were also vendors out in the hallway outside of the ballroom. And I was like, oh, I feel kind of bad for these vendors because everybody's just like walking past them and stuff. Anyway, guess where I got placed this year? And not only was I placed in the hallway, I was placed at the front of the hallway. I was the first table that people see when they come in. And so I kept getting hip checked by people because it was weird. They didn't have like fold out plastic tables. They had like this weird jury rigged setup where it was like these, I guess, hotel provided tables that were very narrow, so they like put two of them together, and so it was a lot wider than your standard fold out table, but it was like rickety and weird.
So I'm recording this on my phone because I don't really want to show my face. I'm all sweaty and I look terrible. But I'm at Nakamacon today. It's kind of a small local con. I've already sold a couple of small things, just like a couple buttons and a sticker. Just started like 10 minutes ago. I like this show. It's small, it's cozy. Last year it went pretty well for me, so I'm hoping it'll be good this year. I am like right by the entrance, so I don't know how well that's gonna work because it's pretty crammed in here. I'm like stuffed like against the wall, so I'll probably like take a video of exactly how stuffed against the wall I am. It's so horrible.
And I was also like, this was not a big hallway. It was very narrow. I was like shoved up against the wall. I had no room at all. It was pretty terrible.
So I'm setting up for day 2 and mostly set up here. Yeah. So I do like that I have this nice big table, but a lot of people like run right into this thing and then don't say anything about it. It's really annoying. And that is where I am crammed. I'm crammed right back there. It's awesome.
And I think that spot really fucked me because I made like $100 total. I didn't even make table.
This is my view from back here. By the way, you can't really see. Oh, and here is the entrance right next to my table. It's super great.
And I don't think it helped that this convention also happened like a couple weeks after the election, and everyone was very upset. I don't think a lot of people were spending money. I think all of us were kind of coming down from that ordeal. Well, the people who run these events are nice. The guy, I don't know if he's like the owner or something of Nakama, or if he's like an event coordinator who works with them or something. He came by and asked me how I was doing, and I told him the truth. Maybe I shouldn't have. I said bad, because I was doing bad. This was like near the end of Saturday, and I hadn't even made like $70 yet, and I knew I wasn't going to be making table. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he offered to give me a free spot in one of their markets coming up, and I think it would have conflicted with something else that I had going on anyway, so I didn't take him up on it, and I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, the tables are only $30. It might be worth trying it a different month than the month that I went, and I really think that this year was more of a fluke than anything. I don't think that I would have done this badly if I had been in a better spot, and if it hadn't been an election year. I think I would have done a lot better if I had been like in my same spot from last year, or I don't know, somewhere in the actual ballroom. That would have been nice. So yeah, last year they sent out like a Google form where you could leave feedback. They haven't done that yet, and it's been like it's been almost a month since it happened, so I don't know if they're going to. If they do, I'm gonna tell them, don't have people in the hallway, like at all, period. It's not a big enough show to justify having people in the hallway. My parents sometimes stop by and like stand behind my table for a few minutes so I can go to the bathroom and stuff. Or they bring me food, like I give them money and they bring me food. My mom brought me some Wendy's nuggets. Okay, so I asked for spicy nuggets. This wasn't my mom's fault, by the way. I probably should have been more specific. I asked for spicy nuggets with some ghost pepper sauce on the side because I'm a psychopath and I love to kill myself with spice. So I expected to get like a 10-pack of the spicy nuggets and ghost pepper sauce. And no, instead, apparently they have like this new thing that's the nuggets, but they've been like tossed in the sauce. And so I get this container, this abomination of sauce, and they were all like soggy from sitting in the sauce. They were terrible. I was like, what? No, this isn't right. They're supposed to be crispy. And then the ghost pepper is for additional dippage. If you let them soak in the sauce, that just ruins it. It's the most first world problem in the entire world to have. Oh no, my nuggets had too much sauce on them. I was only able to eat like 3 of them before I just gave up and ate just the fries. So after that, there was the big one, Wasabicon. So Wasabicon was supposed to happen in October, but a hurricane happened, obviously, and they canceled it pretty much last minute, like the day before, after people had already like gotten here, because people had flown in. People fly in for Wasabicon. They canceled it so like out of nowhere, honestly, and after like reassuring us for a while, and there was some fallout from that. Oh boy, was there some fallout. People on the Discord were mad, justifiably so, honestly. If you're not a Pacific Northwest person, or you're not like deeply involved in the con circuit, there was already a big controversy with Wasabicon PDX, which is in Portland, where the artist alley was in a fucking parking garage, and there were rats, and there was no air conditioning. And it was horrible. It wasn't even like attached to the venue. They were like stuck basically in, I think that they called it like a den or like a dungeon. Yeah, I think they called it a dungeon. There were videos of this on Instagram, and it kind of blew up. It was bad. And the same organizers do Wasabicon Jax. I was like, I sure hope no disasters befall Wasabicon Jax. Foreshadowing. A hurricane kind of throws everything out of whack. And if they had the show while this hurricane was barreling down on us, it would have sucked. It would have been bad. But they should have called it days before they did, so that people would have time to like readjust and reschedule things. But they didn't. So that's what it is. I wasn't really bothered too much by it because like I live literally like right outside the city. I didn't fly. I don't even have to pay for like hotel because I live here, so I was okay. A lot of people weren't. Nakama actually like did a pretty cool thing. They like put together this impromptu street festival sort of thing, where some of the people who had come into Jacksonville for Wasabicon could vend in front of their store for the day. And apparently it went pretty well, and people made a decent amount of money, probably not enough to make up how much they were in the hole, but that was cool to look. But that was pretty cool of them. So that was all backstory. And finally, a month later, the new Wasabicon dates approach. And it was like literally like a week ago. Man, when I say that I'm exhausted, I mean I am exhausted. I did not expect to work this much these past few weeks. I expected it to be spaced out a lot better. Instead, I had like 3 months of nothing, and then this past month or so of just the most stressful time in my entire life. Well, it's the night before Wasabicon, and instead of driving into frickin' Jacksonville to set up early, which I don't want to do, I ended up making a last-minute catalog. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I just haven't had time. Can you? Thank you. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I just haven't really had time. So I'm gonna wait for these to like completely dry, and then laminate them. I have the laminator over there, like just on the ground. It's the only place where I can plug it in. Yeah. Ignore how horrible this is. My dad uses this desk. I'm gonna have to go in pretty early, but by the time I go in, I think it'll be fine. Like, I don't think the traffic will be too bad or anything. Colors aren't completely accurate because I use a lot of like magenta and shit, and that printers don't like that. But I got some new paper. It's really nice and high quality, and I think that the print quality is really nice because of that. Just like the lines and stuff. I'm just hoping it goes well. Since the show was canceled, a bunch of people had to like drop out of the show when it got rescheduled. So there's gonna be fewer vendors, which is probably gonna be good for us, I think. Like all of the rest of us that are still there, because there's less people to buy from. I kind of have a good feeling about this weekend. I hope it's good, especially since Nakamacon was not good. Last year at Wasabicon was okay for me. I did slightly, like, I think I made a small profit, probably not much more than Nakamacon. Thankfully, that didn't happen this year. It was actually a much better year for me at Wasabicon, and I think it was partially because I had a better spot, partially because I had some better merchandise. So on Friday, I didn't bother going in to set up on Thursday because driving in downtown Jacksonville is a nightmare. And we would have had, and we had like 5 hours to set up beforehand on the day of, which is Friday. Like it starts Friday. It doesn't need to start Friday. I don't think that it should, but whatever. I drove in on Friday and get all my setup done. It's about 3 hours before the show opens, and I am finally all set up. I'm kind of glad I didn't come in last night because I didn't really want to drive in Jacksonville any more than I have to. Yeah. I have a few signs I need to tape up, but I'm mostly done. Yeah. Everything's ready. I even busted out the stand for back there. I'm really hoping that today is good. I feel like I got a pretty good spot because I'm like right by the entrance. The entrance is like right around the corner there. And I have my new catalog. I went and printed, I pretty much like designed all of this last night and then printed and laminated it all out last night. Didn't get very much sleep, but I got enough. Yeah, I kind of didn't expect to get done this fast, so I'm thinking I'll probably get lunch somewhere and then just chill out until the show starts. Oh, and I forgot most of my stickers. I only have the Genshin stickers and these Dungeon Meshi stickers because they were in a different package. So I'm a little annoyed with myself for that, but it's Friday anyway, so at least it's not like Saturday. I'm gonna just bring it tomorrow, and yeah, I don't think sales are gonna be crazy today, but I hope that Saturday is good, at least. I think a lot of people in Jacksonville are probably kind of starved for con right now, especially since it got put off for so long. Yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Exactly. Cards, I really love as a Dragon Ball class. I have this guy friend who's like a fencer. So he was up in the fray a lot, but you know me, I love stuff too still. So I really could kind of picture stay back and do a little bit with the cards and access to the buffs, the debuffs, heals. You could be up in.
The first note that I wrote down for some reason is that my trolley sour crawlers got stuck in the vending machine, so I had to buy another one to knock it free. Which is, yeah, that's about how eventful Friday was. Still kind of annoying that I had to spend $6 on fucking vending machine sour gummies because I just needed a sugar rush that bad. I was tired, like I always am. I'm so tired. I always get tired during conventions, and when I do, I have snacks like crackers or like usually sweet snacks work the best, or something salty and crunchy. And once I start eating them, like my energy immediately goes back up. It's almost like eating food is good for you and gives you energy or something. Oh yeah, it went until 9 o'clock. It didn't need to go until 9 o'clock. Jesus, it was like, what? I don't understand what these people are thinking. First of all, not even Saturday went to 9 o'clock. Saturday ended at 8. Why did Friday go to 9? Like, I'm just baffled. I didn't get to eat until 9 because I didn't have anyone to like relieve me. I'm complaining now, but it was actually just a pretty chill night, and I did fairly decently for a Friday night. I think I made about $100 just at that Friday night, which I definitely didn't do last year. But I really don't think that Wasabicon needs to be 3 days. It's not big enough for that. Especially this year, because there was definitely like fewer people there than there would have been otherwise because of the hurricane situation. The vendors, like the amount of vendors got knocked down by like 20 people because so many vendors had to just like straight up cut out because they couldn't make the new dates. But I had a pretty good so there's like 2 entrances to the vendor hall at Wasabicon. One of them is near the entrance to the actual con itself, and that's the end that has the vendor hall. The other entrance is near where they have the panel rooms. So I think they both get a pretty decent amount of traffic. The vendor hall end gets all the people when they're like first coming in, and then the panel room end gets all the people as they're like waiting between panels. They go and walk in. And I was at that entrance basically. I was like, there was like an end cap that was all the Wasabicon merch and the doors that let people in, and I was like down one of those rows that's right in front of those doors, which is great. I think that the traffic was really good because of that, thankfully, which is interesting because I was in almost exactly the same spot for Collective Con, and that was a trash con. It sucked. That sucked so hard. And I accidentally signed up for it again because I forgot that I was on the wait list, and it automatically charged me for a space, so I have to do fucking Collective Con again because it's not refundable. Oh my god. So there was one person kind of closer to the doors in the same row as me, like directly across from me, but a little bit closer to the doors. And they had 2 ginormous has-been hotel cutouts, like cardboard cutouts of like, I don't know who the characters are, and I never will because I would literally rather die than learn anything about Has-Been Hotel. They had like a bunch of displays that people could like take pictures at and stuff, and I'm almost certain that those people probably did pretty well. They were probably attracting a lot of attention. I actually noticed a lot of people had cardboard cutouts because apparently they're fairly easy to make yourself, and you can also get them for pretty cheap at like online stores and stuff. So yeah, I was thinking maybe I should do something like that with like my mascot character or something. Not a big one, just one that's like kind of fun and cute and attracts attention. I've actually had a lot of thoughts about my display lately and what I should do with it. I really want to lean into the like sci-fi theme of my booth, and I was thinking something like a cyberpunk noodle bar or something like that. Like I was thinking of coming up with a way to make my display look like that. I think it would be very unique and it would attract a lot of attention, but it would also take a lot of work. I would need to like do vinyl cutouts for my panels. I would need to really organize and measure and carefully plan everything, which I'm not used to. Like, what I do when I'm setting up is I have my little squares and I just kind of throw them together in whatever way is okay. Because the thing about these cons is that it's really inconsistent, the amount of space you have. Sometimes you have an 8-foot table, sometimes you have a 6-foot table, sometimes you have a ton of space behind you, sometimes you have basically no space behind you. Sometimes you're like crammed together with every other table. Having a flexible display is good, but there are usually some consistent things that I could probably work with. I guess I would have to plan for like the best and the worst case scenarios and have like different options for that. It's gonna take some time and some effort that I don't know if I have the bandwidth to do right now, especially not like right this second as I'm sitting here talking, because man, I'm so tired. Anyway, Friday came and went. It was fine. Saturday though it was nice and busy. It was a pretty steady stream of people. I had a lot of people stopping by. Oh, so for lunch, around lunchtime, like right on time, like around noon, my mom came to help me out and she watched my booth for a little bit. Oh, and I feel so bad for this. I feel so bad for this. I like gave her a very brief rundown, but my stuff is kind of disorganized. Of course, a bunch of people came up and wanted to buy things that were brand new and she had never seen before, and she didn't know where I had them. She ended up calling me on my phone and telling me to come back as soon as I got food from the food truck. And yeah, I had to take back over. And I feel bad because I should have gone over things more with her. And most of the time when my parents come to relieve me and I am able to go like get food and stuff, nobody happens to buy anything from them during that time because it's like lunchtime or like in the middle of a big panel, so nobody is around. But this time she just had a bunch of people come up all at once. Yeah. Anyway, but before I was called back suddenly, I was able to get a beef gyudon bowl from Hibashi Party, which is this food truck. So I work on a food truck as my day job. We've worked with Hibashi before. They're very good. They have really good hibachi, obviously. They have really good sushi. They have really good pot stickers and stuff, gyoza. They had a limited menu this time though, which is smart because it was only them and this place called Bad Chicks or something, and it was chicken and waffles. They were the only 2 savory trucks, which is wild because last year there were 5 trucks and they all had insane lines. They had so many people trying to get food from them, all of those trucks. Anyway, I got there at exactly the right time. I only had like 1 person in front of me in line. And as soon as I got my food, the line started and there were already like 10 people as I was walking up to get my food. So thank God. That was nice. Oh, I should have taken a picture of this. I feel so bad that I didn't. I saw this amazing Mithrin cosplayer and they had this handmade prop book. It was a prop of the book from the Dungeon Meshi manga, the one that Thistle carries around, the demon book or whatever. It was so amazing. So it wasn't like a traditional book, it was like a sculpture of a book, and the sculpture, I'm gonna try to see if I can hunt down this cosplayer and find the picture of this, because I'm sure that they've posted pictures. They better have, because it was amazing. And they had like a sculpture of the goat demon from Mithrin's dungeon popping out of the book. Spoilers for Dungeon Meshi, I guess, by the way. I would hope that if you've seen the anime, you've also read the manga, because the manga is so good, and it's gonna be a while before the anime gets there. I wish I had thought to take a picture. I was really hoping that I would see them again the next day, but I didn't. Oh yeah, and I am very glad that I have so much Dungeon Meshi now, because that shit was selling like crazy. You have no idea how much Dungeon Meshi I sold. I have this big print. I made it, I have like a time lapse of it in my last con video. I have this big print. I sold a bunch of those. I sold like 7 of those. They were big sellers. I sold a decent amount of the charms, and I sold a bunch of the stickers. Senshi, definitely the most popular. I only have 2 Senshi charms left, and I have no Senshi stickers. I need to restock on those. I also don't have any Fallen stickers left, but I have more charms of her because she's bigger than the others, so her charm is more expensive. But I have sold at least 1 of every character, I think, in charm form. Actually, I don't think I've sold Mithrun or Thistle yet. Or Chilchuck. I haven't sold Chilchuck. But I think I've sold everybody else. The buttons. The buttons were also very big sellers, especially these new ones that I made. I posted them on Twitter, and they went crazy on Twitter for them. I think it's like one of my most liked and retweeted tweets. It's Bridget and Testament. Those sold like crazy too. Like, I almost completely sold out of them at Wasabicon, and I had to make more, which I'm glad that I did, because I ended up selling more at my last show, which I'll get to later. I also liked my Yaoi paddle buttons and my Yuri paddle buttons. Yeah, the buttons are big. Actually, right after I got lunch and my mom was about to leave, she watched my booth for a little while so I could go to the bathroom, and the women's bathroom reeked like weed. It was great. Just like, oh my god. Look, I know you're gonna smoke weed at the anime convention. Whatever. I don't care. Don't do it in the bathroom. Don't do it in the bathroom at the vendor's hall, because there's only like 2 of those. Come on. Just, like, it's a big... The convention center is like this old train station, so there's a lot of room and a lot of like empty space. And there's even places outdoors where you can go and just kind of hang out and smoke, and nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna give a shit. Why would you do it in the bathroom? That's kind of shitty of you. The bathrooms are gonna be a recurring problem, by the way. Foreshadowing, I guess. Sunday, it was a typical Sunday. I think a little bit better than Friday, actually. No, I think it was about the same as Friday. I can't remember exactly. I was able to buy a present for my sister and her boyfriend. It's a matching present. I'm not going to say what it is because she might watch this. I don't think she will, which means I only need to buy 1 more present for my mom. I'm not going to say what it is because even though I've told my parents not to watch these videos, I think that they might actually watch the videos. Hi, Mom and Dad! That day, my dad came around lunchtime to give me a little bit of a break. But this time, when I went to the bathrooms, they were flooded. Like, multiple bathrooms, apparently, in the convention center were flooded. And for some reason, they were just letting us still use them. Like, the one that I had to use had, like, a solid ½ inch of water all on the ground. It wasn't, like, dirty or anything. I don't know what the hell happened, but they just expected us to, like, kind of, like, walk through it and use the bathroom and go. And I was like, I don't have time to not deal with this. I don't have time to find an alternative. So I did it. I used that bathroom. It sucked. And I just avoided using the bathroom for the rest of the day. But with all the stuff with the bathrooms and stuff too, and the hurricane, all of that kind of compounded, and I think a lot of people were really pissed off about Wasabicon this year. I really think that we're starting to hit a con singularity, because there's too many conventions. There's not enough people to sustain all these conventions. And also, all of the new ones think that they're gonna be the new fucking anime expo when they're in, like, Palatka. Like, are you kidding me right now? And these organizers, oh my god, like, how do you have the cojones
to charge $275 for a table for a first year con. Are you out of your fucking mind? There's so many of these showrunners who think that they can just like make a pyramid scheme out of some fucking event coordination gig, and they're wrong. They can't. You're gonna lose money if you run events like this. You have to like actually care about the community. But no, they all want to be grifters, and they want to get all the artists to pay for everything so that they don't have to bother advertising, so that they don't have to bother growing the show, so they don't have to bother drawing people back. And so they get lazy. They get lazy and shitty and complacent. That's why I don't really want to hold it against Nakamacon, because like these people obviously care about the community. They've built a whole like micro anime community. They have all of these events. They have a ton of regulars who come to like the shows and the little get-togethers and everything. Like they clearly give a shit. You wouldn't go to all that effort just to make money off of people. But so many of these event coordinators, they just want to make money. And they do a shitty job of it too, because they don't seem to realize that if you charge $275 for your first year con, the only people who are going to pay that are people who are too new to the scene to know that it's a ripoff. Like me. Like, I did that once. Like, I went, well, it wasn't a first year con, but I paid a bunch of money to go to a convention sight unseen, because I was like, oh, this convention is established and it has like a bunch of people and it's in Orlando. It'll be good practice for when I start traveling for cons. And it sucked. I made literally like $70 total at that convention. It was terrible. And I learned a lesson from that. And if any of these people who are just starting out at conventions are going to learn that lesson, they're going to learn it. And then there's going to be less and less and less new people for you to take advantage of with that absurd price, and your con is going to struggle and die, and that is the end. It won't happen anymore. I really want to start branching out more. I feel like my inventory is in a pretty good place now, and I want to start branching out to further out cons. I applied for like MomoCon, AWA. I didn't get into them. I applied for MetroCon, didn't get into that. I applied for Holiday Matsuri, didn't get into that. But most people didn't get into Holiday Matsuri because that was a raffle, and there were like 1,800 entrants. So of course I didn't get into Holiday Matsuri. I had a good time with SuperCon. I really feel like with a little bit more inventory and some more of the experience that I've accrued over the years, and also the fucking election year being over, I think that I would do a lot better at those kinds of shows and maybe build this business up to the point where I can make a living off of it. And that would be really nice. I would really like to be able to do this for a living. But yeah, but it's hard to do when there's so many like fucking grifters out there and shitty shows that aren't worth anything. My last show of the year was this smaller show called GAAM Holiday Nerd Market. I can't remember what GAAM stands for. It's GAAM. I think they've been doing this for like, I think this was the 3rd year. So I did it last year and it was great. It was amazing. So what they do is they put together this like little marketplace where it's completely free. It's sponsored, it's completely free for the attendees, it's completely free for the vendors. No costs, except for the gas to get there, basically. So I go to set up the morning of, like, early morning. I had to get up pretty early.
Okay, I am all set up for the GAAM Holiday Art Market. My last show of the year. Thank God, I'm so exhausted. I didn't expect to have 2 tables, so this is kind of like my weird overflow area. I guess I should probably get an extra tablecloth for things like this. Yeah, I was here last year. It was pretty good, so I'm hoping it'll be good this year too. And like, I have a lot more stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I always say that every time. and then we do see. I had to make a whole bunch of extra buttons because at Wasabicon, these sold like crazy. Like so many people bought them. And also this one was really popular, and these two. So I had to make a bunch of those. Got stickers. I didn't have to make any more stickers, thank goodness. Because that would have been really exhausting. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice having a little more space than usual. I was able to move things around a bit and put a bunch of my prints here. Put this book really obviously here. Nobody's gonna look through it anyway, even with all these signs. But whatever, it's there. Well, I think it's like 10 o'clock-ish right now. I haven't checked the time. I should have done that before I started this video. But it starts at noon and goes till 5. And then there's tomorrow too, noon to 5. And I don't remember it being that short, but yeah, it was good last year, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm excited to finally be done with showing things and be able to just relax for the rest of the year. That would be really nice.
So I get there, and I'm like looking around for the coordinators and stuff, and the guy leads me to this table, and he's like, here it is, and it's 2 tables stuck together. So I'm like, oh, my neighbor must not be there. And then I look and then he's like, here you go, and he like indicates the whole table, and I'm like, wait, are both of these tables mine? Like there's nobody next to me? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, what? Huh? So I think some people got shuffled around, and I just ended up with this huge table. I don't have a plan for a setup that big, for like a table that big, so I just kind of like put my print racks there and laid some prints out like basically facing up. I didn't really bother like making it look super nice. I think it looked pretty janky. And I also had my bargain bin out, which I don't always have out because I don't always have room. I actually made a decent amount of money from that. I made like 20 bucks from the bargain bin, so yeah. And it got rid of some stickers that I felt bad about throwing out, so that was nice. I was able to make it work so it didn't look like completely empty. Dungeon Meshi again, sold like crazy. People love the Dungeon Meshies. I sold a ton of buttons too, like so many buttons. I am so glad that I got that button maker, but now I feel like I kind of need to replace it because it's kind of a shitty plastic one, and I think it would be good to invest in a nicer metal one, especially one where I can change out the dies, the molds, or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. But it would be nice to be able to do like different sizes of buttons and maybe different shapes, like the heart-shaped buttons, things like that. Or I could just order those, but it's nice to have something that you can just hand make at home whenever you need to. And there were food vendors there. There was like an Asian bakery lady. There was also this coffee shop that GAAM works with a lot, and they do like a dry drink and draw there a lot. It's a ways away from my house, so I don't go to it very often. And they had like a setup for making boba. I think they only had like brown sugar milk tea. They didn't have my favorite, which is taro. It's obviously taro, because taro is the best flavor. And the Asian bakery lady, she had this like vanilla ube cookie that looked delicious, and I should have bought one from her. And I should have bought boba, but I never got a chance to go out and get the cookies or the boba. And I felt really sad about that. The actual market itself was great. It went really great. I ended up making like $350 that weekend. Thank God, because I really, really needed a win. I had like so much stuff stressing me out, and Nakamacon stressed me out. Wasabicon was better, but it also kind of stressed me out, and I was worried about not having enough to pay rent. Thankfully, that $350 put me over what I needed to pay rent, and the rest of it I'm saving, because I need to restock now. I mostly just need to get more holo film, and I also need to restock on some of my comic books. I've actually been thinking about writing another comic or two. I have a couple of ideas. I have some... Maybe I'll talk about those later. I don't know. I have so many ideas for videos, and so many videos that I need to edit, because I just have so many videos that in my pipeline. I was thinking of making like a video about writing fan fiction. I wanted to make... Oh, I recorded the first part of me playing Honkai Star Rail for the first time. I haven't even started editing that one because I want to get to the last part of Bellabog before I do that. And I just haven't had time to play it. I've just been so busy. I have more Genshin that I want to record. Also haven't really had time for that. Oh, apparently I bought Rune Factory 5. I completely forgot that I did. I must have done it when it was on sale, because I think it went on sale for like $10 a while back, and I was like, oh, getting that, yeah. I want to do some more of that Minecraft playthrough. Oh, man. And I don't know when my next Artist Alley vlog will be, because I think, let's see, what do my notes say that my next show is? My next show is, Brick City Anime Festival, which is run by the same guy who does Collective Con, but I did really well at last year's Brick City Anime Festival. Please God, I'm hoping I do okay at this next one. Because holy shit. That guy, the Collective Con, Brick City, Bold Matsuri guy, is kind of on my shit list at this point. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of his shit. And if Brick City is good, that'll be great. I will probably continue to do Brick City if it continues to be good. I won't be doing Collective Con after this next one, which is in March. Oh, and I might be able to do SwampCon. SwampCon is the best con I've ever had, period. It's at the University of Florida. The tables are cheap. It's a small show, and it's free for the students to get into. So I made almost $1,000 at that show. People, like all the college kids with all of their disposable income were like, ooh, stickers! And I sold a lot of stuff there. So I think that I will probably do pretty well if I get into that again. They opened up applications and I applied. I don't know if I've gotten in yet. I hope so, because it's kind of a small show. Not many people go for it. But yeah, I don't need to get a hotel either, because it's a bit of a drive away. It's like an hour and a half away, but I've done that drive before. I'm okay with it. There's a few other things that I want to look into. I've heard the Goblin Market is very good. You need to have a lot of stuff that's on sale or deals or something for Goblin Market, and it's in Orlando. So I don't know. I think it's a one-day thing. But since it's in Orlando, I might still need to get like a hotel or something, and I don't know if it would be worth getting a hotel for, but everyone says that it's amazing. Everyone says that it's like crazy good, and people are out there to like trade and buy and all sorts of things. I would like to give it a try. That would be nice. Maybe I'll try for MegaCon this next year. I'm not gonna get into MegaCon. Nobody ever gets into MegaCon, and if you do get into MegaCon, you stay in MegaCon. You do anything to keep that spot. It's rough. I think I already applied for MetroCon and I got rejected. Maybe next year. Who knows? I'd like to try MetroCon because MetroCon was big and good, and I've heard good things about it. So yeah, those are my last shows of the year, and I'm so tired. Anyway, I'm hoping that this next year is a better year for cons, because it was a bit of a struggle. It was a bit tiring. Very tiring, actually. I don't know what my next con that I'm going to travel for would be. I'd like to pay off some more of my credit card before I do that. Traveling for cons is also fun, and I really enjoyed SuperCon. It was fun to get out of my comfort zone like that. Even though there was like that horrible disaster with my car. Speaking of my car, I really need to do some maintenance on that. I need to put some air in my tires. Anyway, thank you for listening to my insane ramble. I have a lot of fun video ideas in the pipeline, and I'm going to try to get as many of those made as soon as I can. It's Christmas, so there's not going to be a lot of work for me to do. Not going to be much going on. So I'm hoping to take that time to just do fun things and make fun stuff, because I've had a lot of fun working on this YouTube channel. I started it so long ago, like 3 years ago, and basically deposited a video on it like once every couple of months. And it's only been recently that I've started to take it actually seriously, because this is a lot of fun. I really enjoy making videos, even if only the shit posts are the things that get views. I don't really care. It's fun. I like expressing myself. I like getting creative with video editing and lots of things like that. And I like talking about my experiences. I think I'm pretty funny. You guys think I'm pretty funny, right? That must be the reason why you keep coming back here and listening to this bullshit, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it. I don't know when I'll next do an Artist Alley vlog. Because, like I said, my next one is in February, unless I get into SwampCon, in which case I think that it happens in January. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!